Welcome everyone to the Tonkin Legal Group, home of the Australian Family Law Podcast, the AFLP, definitely not the official podcast of the AFL. It is I, as always, Joe, joined by Sinjin. Hello, how are you?
G'day, Joe. I'm well, mate. Very well. Good to be back.
Oh, we missed you. Charlie and I missed you last week, didn't we, Charlie?
We certainly
Thanks,
did.
guys.
Just didn't feel the same without you there, SH. So
Oh.
it's good to have you back, and it's good to have another co-host back.
Yeah. Soki, how are you, Ash?
Good.
I'm
Suckers,
good.
welcome.
I'm good. Thank you for having me again. It's good to be back.
Pleasure.
Oh, it's the pleasure is all ours, and I can see we've got some a lovely background going for you. It is, of
Hey.
course, Soki going to be our soccer correspondent, and the reason why we decided to have you on is because you brought something really special that, in our opinion, you brought something really special in the world of soccer with the World Cup, what's going on, and thought that this certainly sparked the premise of this episode. So without further ado, we'll let you go into it. What's happened?
Oh, Joe, what's happened? So we've got young Belgian player Jeremey Doku. He plays for Manchester City, young gun. Publicly said that he wanted to, if his wife was due to give birth in July, and he said that if Belgium was still in the cup by then, that he was going to go home to be with his wife for the birth of his first child. Who would have
Wow.
thought that would have been a controversial statement to make? Uproar, absolute uproar.
What?
Particularly from one French company, broadcasting company, which basically said, you're living out your childhood dream and you're going to walk away from it for the birth of your child. She called it a disgusting moment where the dad is completely useless, and all he does is holds your hand and takes a photo. So naturally, everyone was like, that's just a bit ridiculous to say. We should be celebrating a dad who wants to be there for the birth of his child and for his wife on a very special occasion. Funnily enough, he got news early on, must have been this weekend, that his wife's birth was imminent. So he was going to miss out on the Iran game, which was on Sunday anyway. So he flew back to be there. He was there for the birth, and now he has returned with a baby boy.
Good on him.
And, the world goes on because it's not that deep, people.
And he
And
hasn't
they
missed.
drew the game. They didn't lose
Yeah.
either. They drew the game. So
They did draw the game, yep.
Yeah.
The red card, though, for Belgium, which wasn't great. But, it just got us thinking about, although they're together, it's a positive thing that they've done to start their co-parenting relationship in raising their child. So it got us thinking about some things that parents can do throughout separation that is positive and child-focused and in the best interests of the children. So yeah, no, it's.
Yeah.
I think similar things have happened in the AFL as well. Sinjin, you mentioned.
Oh, they have. Yes. There's been a lot of AFL players who have chosen to miss important games to be by their partner and watch the birth of their child, which I think is special. Now, being the only member of this panel who in fact is a father, and who has witnessed both my daughter's births, I wouldn't have changed anything. Best two experiences of my life. So I wholeheartedly agree with the young Belgian soccer player who, notwithstanding all the pressure he was under and the keyboard warriors going to work, he stood by his position and did what he thought was appropriate. And I agree with him. Yes. Now, any separation is devastating. There's usually one reluctant party in any separation and one party who perhaps wants to move on. So in talking about encouraging things that people can do or turn their mind to in a separation, it needs to be seen in that context. So we understand as family lawyers that it's a difficult time, but sometimes you can make a choice to take the positive pathway or to take the negative pathway. And taking the positive pathway might start with coming to an agreement about children's arrangements between yourselves. There's nothing to stop you coming to an agreement regarding how the children are to spend time with each parent. That agreement, if you want, can be formalised through the court, and at the end of the day, you control your outcome, not a judge of the family court.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly
Mm.
right. And
Mm.
that agreement, whatever it is that you reach, it really should not be just in terms of, oh, it's not fair if you have, it needs to be 50-50 time. It's not, we're not here thinking about necessarily automatically in terms of what parental entitlement is. All of these parenting arrangements, it's all about keeping the best interest of the child really at the heart of everything. It is the paramount consideration. That's the word, those are the words that the court uses. And when it comes to considering what's in the best interest of the children, it's the paramount consideration. And that's what every positive co-parenting arrangement, whether it be during the relationship or post-separation, certainly keeping the heart at heart, the kids and what works best for them. And I think, sort of stemming from that, it's all really about encouraging these kids to enter into this arrangement, because you're going to have some regular time with the other parent. It's all about you got to speak respectfully about that other parent as well, and not necessarily try to put them down. You're going to go see dad, or you're going to go spend time with mum now. It's all about that positive relationship with the kids in mind.
And we all know that the experts who provide evidence or reports for the family court, the crucial point in any family report that we've ever seen is kids don't like conflict. So if the parties can put their conflict aside, it's much more of an experience and an uplifting experience for the children if their parents can, in some way, in front of the children at least, show a united front for the benefit of their kids. So it's really, if you can find it in yourself to be friendly and amicable with your former partner, it certainly has great advances or advantages for children.
I think that's a good point, St. John, you raise about presenting a united front. I mean, an example could be deciding which school to enrol the child in. So, I mean, they're particularly going from primary school through to secondary school. That's a pretty stressful enough time for a child, let alone if their parents are going through a separation. And in addition to that, if it's a volatile separation where they're disagreeing on which school to enrol the child in. So it can seem like a small thing on the outside, but if the parents are united about deciding on that school and everyone's on board, it can go a long way to, I guess, promoting what's in the child's best interest. And I mean, a lot of the things that we speak about today in this episode can or might seem like common sense from an outside perspective, but as we all know, unfortunately, common sense doesn't always apply in some family law matters when it can be a highly emotional situation. But yeah, I think that's probably an example.
Yeah, and to facilitate, sorry, St. John, do you want to go?
No, go on. No, I was just going to make a comment, but I'll wait till you're finished.
Yeah, I was just going to say something that might not be super straightforward or people might not know is that there are apps and sort of things that you can use to assist your co-parenting relationship. So there's apps like App Close and Our Family Wizard, which can help you have those discussions with your co-parenting partner about messaging, uploading documents, medical stuff. There's calendars, there's invoices that you can put on it. So it's an area where you can have a centralized conversation about the children and what's in their best interests without there being emails, text messages, it's all just in the one place, and you know, all the conversation needs to be positive. There can be tone detectors and stuff. So we've found often that can be a really useful tool for people to use when they're trying to best co-parent their children.
Because it's about communication, isn't it, Ash? And that's generally the first thing that falls away in a separation. It's easy to not communicate with somebody, and it's easy to communicate poorly to somebody. And using a centralized app can sometimes just mean that you've got a conduit for passing of information that's not too onerous, and it does keep all that information in one spot. There's also some courses, some important courses that people can do at the end of their relationship, and it's sometimes a really hard sell to clients to suggest that they need to go away and do a parenting course or a parenting after separation course. But these courses are about working in a situation where you feel uncomfortable, upset, and perhaps reluctant. And they give you various strategies to assist in negotiating with your former partner for the best interests of your children. Again, if you can present as a united front without a high conflict scenario unfolding in front of the children, and you've learnt strategies in a particular parenting course on how to do that, then that to me is a positive. And ultimately, your children, it's not going to hurt anybody. It's not going to kill anybody. A lot of people say, well, I don't need to do a parenting course. I'm already a parent. Well, as a parent myself, I continue to learn how to parent. And having had some insight into these courses, I would highly recommend them because they do allow you some strategy and some capacity to deal with a foreign situation or an abnormal situation that you find yourself in. It's a productive
because
exercise.
you might know how to parent, but you've never had to parent before in a situation where there might be, you know, another partner. Your partner might have repartnered, and now you're dealing
two
with
households.
two households. So really good tool.
I agree.
And despite all of that, I suppose to bounce to the next step, I suppose, from communication and making sure that remains consistent and that remains ongoing and child focused. And if you are potentially using one of those great apps as resources, making sure that if whatever it is that the agreement that you've reached, do your best to try and stick to it as much as you can, because especially for young kids, having that established set routine really is very important. It provides the kids with a lot of consistency in their life. It therefore means that once they get used to this new, I suppose, new normal, the new state of how their life is being structured, it means therefore that they're going to be able to perform better at school. They've got certain expectations that then allows them to be able to follow through. It therefore means that they're going to have less difficulty when it's time to be with mum or time to be with dad. Those parents themselves don't have to go through all of the stress, I suppose, of trying to calm the children down, where there's always chopping and changing. So it's beneficial for both the children and the parents that to continue that positive correspondence to then be consistent with the routine and the expectations for the kids.
Yeah, and I think the flow-on effect of, you know, using those parenting apps, like what Ash mentioned, and actually the benefits that the children can have based on the parents using those apps in a productive way and communicating appropriately. It can be just little things like notifying the other parent that the child has an excursion coming up, or there's a particular health concern that they have, or a dietary issue, and just putting that in the app and communicating so that it's all documented and it's there that they can rely on. And I mean, I guess if anything changes in the parenting arrangements, or for example, if one of the parents wants to take the child or the children on a holiday, I think consulting the other parent before actually making those arrangements or booking the holiday or purchasing airfares, it's always recommended. Otherwise, you don't want to get into a situation where there's an overseas holiday that's booked and the other side's left in a situation where they're considering an urgent court application to prevent that parent from potentially bringing the children overseas. I mean, we see it quite often, and that's how quickly it can escalate. And that can be a direct result of poor or lack of communication.
I think also from the family court's perspective, it's a well-held belief that a child is going to be better adjusted as a young adult, as an adult, and as an older person by the way these situations are dealt with by their parents. And if you can put your best foot forward, skill yourself up, use the systems and the apps that are available to you, then it's going to create a much better outcome for your child's life and how they are adjusted as a human being.
Yep. So you got to be Jeremey Doku standing up to the press and saying, "No, I'm gonna be there for the birth of my child and start off on a good foot."
I agree, and like
Absolutely.
Trent Cotchin, who wanted to be at bedside with his wife when his 3 children were born, the mighty Trent Cotchin from the Tigers. Always support a dad or a mum in that case who want to be available for those magic moments. They are magic moments, but as we all know in this industry, the family law industry, magic moments can sour. But you've got a choice. You can do it productively or you can do it negatively.
Absolutely, and that's going to be on Popper's mind. Is he going to do it positively or negatively? I think he started positive. Started positive against
Popper a break.
Nah. He started positive against Turkey, and then completely negative against Australia. What are going to get a bit of a half or something against Paraguay?
No, I think he's copped enough slack. I think he's learned his lesson. He started fresh, he started well, everyone was in form, and kind of he did throw that a little bit away with the USA game, but Paraguay have got their best player out from a red card. We've got a good chance.
Anything could happen. And tell me, Ash, as my sweep team, are they any chance? What have we got here?
Or Dr. Congo.
Dr. Congo.
Well, like I said to you, St. John, drawing to Portugal is not bad. No, but I don't think that they've got much of a chance.
No, well, if they don't, at least I've got my backups, which are Canada and Egypt.
Egypt had a win. Egypt had a win this morning.
Okay.
They did against New Zealand.
Yep.
Canada had a draw, did they not?
Who?
Canada.
Did Canada have a draw?
Canada
beat Qatar 6-0.
Yeah, but they did have a player go off injured. He broke his fibia and tibia.
I heard about this.
It looked pretty nasty. So
was it a compound fracture?
Yeah, didn't look great. It didn't look great at all. So you're still in it, SH. You're still in it. But I don't know about winning. I don't know about going the whole way.
Reminds me of that awful Nathan Brown broken leg
against the D's. I was there.
Oh, were you? Oh,
yeah, I remember.
Just when the dynamic duo Matt Richo and Nathan Brown were just getting on their way.
You got to move on, SH.
Crushing blow.
It's amazing how often St. John it's amazing the skill to be able to make things about Richmond, St. John. It's quite
there's
remarkable.
There's my doggies as well, Joe. I mean, they're back.
They're back. Well, hopefully we'll be back next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you had to see or hear from us today in this episode, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're listening to us on Spotify, please rate us 5 stars. Goes a long, long way. Yes, and you could very well win the World Cup in your sweep if you do that. So apparently the science is in. Every time you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, it increases your chance of winning the sweep in your work. So I don't know who told me that, but apparently that's true. So Ash, thank you so much for being here with
Thanks,
us
Ash.
today. It
problem.
was a
Thanks,
lot of
Ash.
fun.
No
Soccer with Sockers.
problem. Yep, happy to be the Soki consultant.
Love
Go,
it.
Dr. Congo.
Go Dr. Congo.
Charlie, St. John, as always, a pleasure, gentlemen. And hopefully next
Thank
week,
you.
You too, Joe.
hopefully next week, you both are here as well. Having too many weeks where it's 1 week on, 1 week off. Need some consistency, fellas.
Yes,
We'll be back.
yes, will do.
We'll-
Thanks,
we'll
Joe.
be here.
Thanks,
All right.
Joe.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.